Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name blah, blah, blah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be my March wrap up. So I'm really happy to say that in the month of March I read 8 books and yeah, it was a pretty great reading month overall, so I'm really happy. So let's start with the first book that I read in March. So the first book that I finished in March is The Ends Meet Still by Margaret Atwood. So I give this one a 4 out of 5 star. I really enjoyed it. It was in my 5-star prediction video, but unfortunately it was not a 5-star. It was still pretty good. I really enjoyed the writing style and the storytelling. The only thing is that some part of it were pretty slow at times, so it took me out of the story a little bit. But I really enjoyed it overall, and I started the TV show and I really love the TV show. The TV show adaptation is really great. It's really well made. It's really compelling. It's so good. So yeah, so I'm really glad that I read this in March and I quite enjoyed my reading experience. I was pretty mad all the time while reading this book because this book is about a topic that is really frustrating for me. Just yeah, it's crazy how like this is a dystopian, but I can see this situation happen in the future, like near future, which is absolutely nuts. And qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What is it? What's going on? You want to be on the camera? Oh. His little left eye is like infected or something, but yeah. Poor BB. He's like a parrot BB. It's crazy to think that some man thinks that this is how we should treat women. Yeah. Outrageous. Anyway, quite enjoyed it. I am going to read the sequel for sure, but yeah. And I'm going to watch the TV show. For sure. It's all good. Next, I completed The Shadowed Sun by N.K. Jemisin. And for this one, I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. It was way better than the first one. For sure, it was not as good as the Broken Heart trilogy. No. But it was much better than the first one. This one was a little bit more political, and I much prefer the romance in this book than in the first one. And yeah, the magic was a little bit more explained, so I understand it a little bit more. So I enjoyed it way more than the first one. But yeah, it's not my favorite N.K. Jemisin's work, you know. So far, it's the Broken Heart trilogy. I've yet to read the 100 Kingdoms trilogy. I think that's what it's called. No, the Inheritance trilogy. I'm really happy that I started and completed a series this year, so yeah for that. Next, I completed Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw, and this was a 5 out of 5 star. This book was so good, okay? I was so shocked because this is an Alcree book that I have on my shelf for like more than 2 years. And, you know, I put this book on a couple of TBRs last year and I never got to read it. And I was not that excited, to be honest, to read it. But I'm so glad I did this month because this was so good. Shay Earnshaw's writing style is absolutely beautiful. It's exquisite. It's so good. She's so good with words. It's crazy. And the characters are so compelling. Even though I saw like the plot twist coming, it was still so good. It was still so good. I can't wait to read more Shay Earnshaw. Like, yes, because this was the perfect witchy, foresty whimsical book. It was just the atmosphere. The atmosphere was perfect. The magic was perfect. I love this book so much. I flew through it. I read it in like 2 days, which is, yeah, and it was so good. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, it was just perfect in my eyes. I'm really shocked because I didn't anticipated that, like, at all. No, no. But it was so good. It was so, so good. I really want to read The Wicked Deep, and I really want to read like the new book that she came out with, which is which is her adult debut. It's I think it's called A Secret History of Places. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it's about witches again. And you know, The Wicked Deep is also about witches, and she's coming out with another like YA witchy book this year. So, oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait. And yeah, she's so good at writing. She's so good. This was amazing. Loved it so much. Next, I finished The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi, and this one I gave a 4 out of 5 star. I really enjoyed it. I love the setting, the Paris setting. I really love the characters. The characters are flawed. They're not perfect. They were making some mistakes, and everything didn't go right for their heist, you know. It was just like not a perfect route. It was really good. It was really compelling. I really love the relationships also between the characters, and I can't wait to read the second one. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where the gang is gonna go and what they're gonna do, and the magic is really, really fun. It's so cool. It's so intriguing. And I'm really happy that I enjoyed a YA book by Roshni Chokshi, because I didn't like A Star-Touched Queen and A Crown of Wishes, which is her YA duology. I didn't like those. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And if I don't like it, then, you know, YA Roshni Chokshi is just not for me. But I really enjoyed this. So I am going to read the second one. I don't know when, but I will. I'm really glad that I read it this month. Next, I finished another Roshni Chokshi's book, and that is Arusha and the City of Gold. And this is the 4th book in the Pandava series, and by Roshni Chokshi, of course. And I love this series. I think you know it. I've been talking about this series for quite a while. The 4th book was really good. It was not my favorite in this series. It was not, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for the 5th one. I don't know how it's gonna end. I know it's gonna end like on a good note, and like, and you know, it's gonna be a happily ever after, because it's a middle grade series, you know, the bad guy's not gonna win. Okay, but I'm really excited, and I'm scared for some characters. So yeah, this was really, really good. I love those characters so much. I think it's my favorite thing in this series. It's the characters and their relationships with one another is just chef's kiss, perfect. It's so good. If you haven't started it yet, do it. It's all out. The 5 books are out now, so you can binge read this, and it's so, so good. It's so fast-paced. It's so fun. I love it. I love it so much. This was a 5 out of 5 star. I don't know if I said it, but yeah, it was a 5 out of 5 star. Next, I finished Bunny by Mona Awad. And oh my god, this was a 5 out of 5 star. This was so fucked up. This was so weird. But it was so good. It's so weird. God. I'm still like mind fuck about it, and I'm still like trying to figure out, like, did that just really happen? Yeah, but it was so good. It was so, so good. The characters are so unreliable. You can't trust them. Any of them. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, because I think you have to go into this book like blindly knowing nothing, because this was perfect. This was the perfect amount of weird and that I needed at that time. So, God, it was weird, but I loved it. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to say in words why I loved it so much. I just did. At the end, I just wanted to go back to the beginning and just start it again. Like, that's the feeling that I got when I finished this book. And I don't get this feeling that often. It was good. It was so good. Then I finished The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and this one I gave a 3 out of 5 stars, so it's not a bad book. It was just not anything incredible. It was a pretty standard mystery book. I saw pretty much all the plot twists coming, except for like 1 or 2 max. But yeah, I saw it coming. It kind of ends on a good note, which I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the ending. God, that's my problem with thriller and mysteries, really, the ending. If I don't like the ending, this book is not gonna be a 3 stars and above, like, for sure. The ending can ruin a book for me. So it was not bad, but it was not like amazing. I really want to read The Guest List and The Unthink Party, just because I heard The Guest List is really, really good. I heard great things about it. So, you know, I think I'm gonna enjoy it more than The Paris Apartment. The thing I liked the most in this book was really the atmosphere. It was really that the atmosphere was well written, and I felt like I was in this building, in this Paris apartment. I felt like I was there. So for that, it's a good point. But yeah, it was not anything like ground shaking, amazing, life changing. No, but it was good. It was good. And finally, the last book that I finished in March is Can We All Be Feminist by, well, it's edited by June Eric Dory. This is a short story essays collection by a bunch of female authors, especially like people, BIPOC female authors. And it's basically mainly about intersectionality, which means that, you know, to consider yourself to be a intersectional feminist is to taking into account every woman. So no discrimination about race, gender, sexuality, body shape, being disabled or not. It really talks about racism, ableism, sexism, homophobia in the feminist community, and I really, really enjoyed it. I underlined some stuff. I tabbed also some parts of it. I really enjoyed my reading of this book. I will lend this book to any of my friends that wants to read it. Like, I think this book is a must-have if you do consider yourself a feminist, but you don't know what intersectionality is, or you are just not taking into account every woman. Everyone should read it, but yeah, I'm gonna start first with my friends. Yeah, this book was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. So I don't write mad nonfiction, so this was really, really good. So this is it, guys. This is my March wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a next video. Bye!